Okay, so here's our stage at one end of the room. We just finished that. What we're going to do now is add some tables to the room. The client is going to have a serving line, kind of like a buffet style, where all the food's going to be served down this left wall over here, or the west wall of the room. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some standard 8-foot like party rental tables on that end, and we're going to put 3 of them there. She said she's going to have 3. So we are going to go to Window and go to Furniture this time. Should have this file open. And you see right away, here's our 72-inch round table. Everything's already grouped. So if you select it, it selects the entire piece as one piece. Going to go to Object, and the next one down is a 30 by 96 table, and that's basically our standard rent from just about anybody party table. Alright, so we're going to take one of these. I'm going to go to View All so we can see everything here. Back to the selection tool, going to select this table, Control C to copy, clicked out in the field to unselect, Window here, Object, New. We're going to call this, let's call it table underscored long. Okay, Control V to paste, and our table lands right there. Boom. Okay. Now, that's pretty boring, pretty plain looking table. We can obviously put that in the room if you want. It still represents a table, represents the room and the space, but I like to dress it up a little bit. So we're going to go back to Window and back to Furniture, go to Object, and there should be a tablecloth for a 30 by 96. So here we go, 30 by 96 tablecloth. And I am going to select that. This is kind of like the skirts on the stage. Control C to copy, unselect, back to my file, and Control V to paste. And what's great, like I was saying, because everything lines up the way it's supposed to, it just puts a tablecloth right on top of the table. Now, this is kind of the tablecloth you would have on here if you had chairs around this table, but the client said this is going to be for serving food. So typically they'd put a tablecloth on here that would run to the floor. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the front view, one view, and go to the wireframe view here, and you can see now the wireframe of the tablecloth. Going to go to the object point edit mode here, selecting this. Now you can see all the points. The multi-select drag select tool, and we're going to drag a box around just these points on the bottom. Sorry, isolate isolate just the points, select, and then drag and select all of the points on the tablecloth. Select the move tool, isolate the y-axis. Now hold down the shift key so nothing snaps weird on you, and then pull down your tablecloth until it's just on the floor or just above the floor, however you want it. So I'm going to put mine at about ½ an inch off the floor to 1 inch off the floor, and then click out in the field anywhere to deselect your points. Back to the regular selection mode. Now when you go to the smooth shaded, view all, you have this cool looking table with a tablecloth that actually goes all the way to the floor. Alright, so that finishes that, but we obviously aren't going to have this kind of ugly gray tablecloth on here. We're going to have a tablecloth that probably matches what's going on at the event. The tables that they're serving the food from are going to have black tablecloths on them. So if we go to Object here and we go back to our stage, you'll notice we have a black skirt material here. So the black skirt can match our black tablecloth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select just one of the skirts from anywhere. Oh, scratch that. I'm going to build ungroup. Now I'm going to select one of the skirts, Control C to copy. Now I'm going to regroup everything before I leave. So Control A to select all, build, and group. So everything's back to being grouped. I'm going to go back to Object, Table Long, Control V to paste, and then I'm just going to delete that right away, and that imports our black skirt. Texture, material, going to click on the tablecloth here and apply the black skirt texture, and now we have very cool, very elegant black table. Alright, so back to all, and now she said they're going to have 3 of these, and they need to be running the length of the room. So our room obviously runs this direction, and the tables are going to be on this left side. So we're going to go back to the object selector here, and we're going to go back to the table long. Zoom in on this, and you guessed we're going to rotate these. So I'm going to drag select everything, or Control A to select all, build, and I'm going to group. So now this becomes one group, the tablecloth and the table. edit, rotate, and we're going to rotate on the Y 90 degrees. And then while I'm here, I'm going to have my move tool available, isolate the Y, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, drag out a new table to the bottom here, zoom way in on this right here, and go to the wireframe view so I can see my table under my tablecloth. I'm going to drag this up until the two tables butt right up against each other like that. Alright, and while I've got this still selected, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, move tool still selected. I'm going to slide this one up to the top, and I'm going to butt these right up against each other the same way. Rename them XYZ, deselect, like that. As you can see here now, we have this very cool looking long black table. Alright, Control A to select all. We're going to build. Make sure you're in the object edit mode. We're going to build and group. Control C to copy. Object, assembly. Control V to paste. Drops it right in the middle of the room. While it is all still selected, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to keep it right in the middle of the room like this, and I'm just going to isolate the X and drag it right up against this left wall over here. Again, almost up against the wall. And then deselect, zoom out, and now if we go into our perspective view here and we zoom out a little bit, rotate the view. Now we have our long serving table. I'm kind of zipping around here, kind of funky, sorry. There it is. Okay, there's our cool little serving table on the one end of the room. Alright, I'm going to stop here and we'll be back to do some regular tables.